Welcome to today's live. If you are new, the odds are that I jump into your timeline or you jump into mine. And you are wondering about the future of utopia. This is an invitation, this is an invite to the supernatural world and the supernatural abilities of you. You are something special. You is what my inner eye kept an eye on for eons of years. I welcome you, chosen one, collective, starred seeds, indigo. For anybody who stumbles on this video, you are wondering, what is the matrix? What is this? Is this a computer simulation, a program that we created, or was it designed for us to escape? The answer is out there. The answer is within you. So, I welcome you to your portal of your destiny. And it's up to you what you discover through these doors. Don't be like P. Diddy and them, having all these abilities, these spiritual abilities, and don't know what to do with them. Now, I could change this title, be about, oh, this is the P. Diddy experience. No, I'm gonna put this in the most spiritualist as I can be, because this vision, this story I'm about to tell you, is really about them, him, really. But then it also can associate with you too. Some of you feel like Jonah, who got abducted by aliens, then eventually became Noah, who became a god himself. Jonah and Nona are two different entities and two different deities. One is an entity and one is a deity. And one is trying to become an entity. Jonah, on the other hand, is a representation of Loki, or any Norse mythologic god. You can call him Odin sometime. You can call him the Lost One, the Lost Boy. You can call him Peter Pan if you want to. Depending on how you look at this content, depending on how you look at what it is that I'm trying to program you, or give you a Wikipedia on, or a Psychopedia on what's going on in reality with these two particular beings. We can also say Jonah is aka Jay-Z in this particular content. And then we can also say Noah could be P. Diddy, or it's vice versa, depending on who you want to look at this content. Yes, I have access to these information because, the elite like to put content out there in your face for you to recognize and understand that they are accessing you through your ancestors and you don't even recognize it. Why? Because maybe you dumb down yourself with drugs and alcohol. Maybe you need to use them as a portal to open up this world to you, instead of the other way around, that it was programmed for you to be or to become. So you can look at this in a different perspective, because isn't that what life is about? It's understanding what spirituality is, what we are. Now, I had a sit down, what you could possibly call the devil within you, but it's really an unknown spirit that you cannot identify. It's a UFO, it's a flying sorceress. It's something you cannot give it a name just yet because you is traveling within its history. Whether you're traveling within it with the lower self of you or the lower self of it, and you're traveling to the higher self of it, it's not going to show you the higher self of you just quite yet until you discover the dark parts of you. And these particular two beings was able to travel multidimensional because of the melanin that they both consume within themselves throughout time, was able to collect data information and abundance along the way based off traveling within the stars of them, the zodiacs within them, accessing their akasha records within the zodiacs. All they have to do was call upon these ancestors who been through a certain situation before and be like, just like how we do with our Alexa or our Google Home, we'd be like, hey Alexa, we can do that with our ancestors now in this dimension. It's no more sacrificial type of lamp. Like, it's no more sacrificing yourselves or your something you love about just to give up, just to have a piece of information or confirmation. What if the devil gave you a device that you was able to teleport through time, dimensional realms, whatever you may want to call it? You can even call this device archangel, just sitting on the palm of your hand. You can call this a god. You can call this whatever it is that this device is capable of doing. And all you have to do was wear it and get through the dark days of you to get to the higher perspective of you. But in order for us to really do these type of activities, we have to go through what you call a something that you something that is capable of outside of you that can unlock something within you without you recognizing what it is just yet. Until it's able to recognize and identify itself to you, it becomes known, it becomes a thing, it becomes something that you can identify with and give it a name. But it's not just ready yet. It's at this point it's a baby spirit. You particular on this earth plane, you are a baby spirit. You have not really put into depth of experience all of you in different dimensions or different times or different lineages just yet because you have not able to call on those ancestors to help you travel through those depths of you. So you don't really know what's AD, what's after you. You know what was before you because you know you kind of experienced the future before you had experienced the past. And then, therefore, both of them can equal up to the present moment. And you're able to access many doors, as many possible opportunities to you. These elites that we call that is governing our ability of understanding this stuff, they don't understand them themselves. That's why the P. Diddy situation, the Wendy Williams, the Cat Williams, all that shit, the Orlando Bloom, all of them are part of the. They want to be a part of the 12 Disciple Collective, but they can't. And there's only one person who is capable of doing, maybe two. Out of the rest, they can't really grasp this information. They don't understand the difference between the archangel or a draconian or a devil or a god, or we don't even know whether or not is Jesus considered to be a shaman or just a spokesperson for this particular god or creator. So I started questioning whether or not that we have the option to have these gifts once we explore what it is and what it does. Or this gift that was created for us or created by us can become whatever energy that it was designed to be because we have no control of it. We're able to see the obstacles, see the illusions, but what are we going to do with that little piece of information once we get it in our hand? That's when the devil within us and the God within us, the devil is showing us chaos. It's showing us the low key version of us, of what the higher realm version of us. You can call that Eros, that can be connected to Aphrodite. It can be connected to the dove, which the dove was gifted from God, which is why I call myself Aphrodite for a reason. I really believe that I'm the reincarnation of the dove, that it symbolizes what's within God, who is like of God. That's what's in my real name. And for a long time, they made me want to shut this part of me, this Jesus like constellation within me, this Jesus subconscious within, actually break it down within myself before my awakening, before the moments I knew I was awakened. How am I able to concept these realities within me, these dimensional realities within me, and not having a lick of information, not even Googling this shit, but going within the ancestors and the Akasha records within me. It's crazy how I can tap into multiple worlds within me through my ancestors who experienced these worlds within their subconscious and the ancestors before them. It's like gateways and portals within portals and doorways within doorways. It's like a library. You have to understand to have to balance your Libra within you. Like, I know astrology, but I don't want to be coming up here explaining you the star system when you should already know what the star system. It's so many gurus out there explaining this shit. I just want to explain the vision to you of what my ancestors are showing me through your answers, what they want this vision to be done. They want a school for thought. They want a real life spiritual school, a real life spiritual school where a bunch of us are neglected kids, isolated kids, nobody outcast type kids who never fit in, who never belonged anywhere, go to these type of schools and call it the gift of thought. That comes from, aka the god of thought. We can't forget about these gods and goddesses who created us, gods and goddesses within them. We have to recognize the power within us that comes from within. And I think the elites know way more than what they are letting on. But some of us, it's so hard to grasp on this information. It's really hard for us to grasp this reality, this possibility of what we can do with our subconscious, what we can do with our mind when we're dreaming, when we're visualizing during the day. What are you doing with these information? Everybody has a spiritual gift. Every living soul, whether they recognize they're NPC or something that is living for something else or living from themselves. And this is when the Loki of me, the version of Loki within me, is telling you to stand up for thyself. I don't always follow this masculine energy because the Eros inside of me, it's constantly fighting with each other, especially with Loki being Pluto, and then it was going to all of a sudden be Mars all of a sudden. And it's like a Draconian and a Nephilim fighting each other at the same time. And it's hard to recognize who is who once you channel themselves within you. So I'm like, I'm sitting here questioning all the spirits, all the masculine spirits within me. How come they don't have the portal or the access to these certain things? They're like, well, it takes somebody with dark matter, with a darker mindset than the devil, who's capable of handling this much information to recycle back and not get lost, to help other gods. Is that why we're being haunted with our ancestors and their ancestors? We're supposed to help the trouble who needs to be guided back to their enlightenment, guided back to the realm that they was originally from or wanted to be. These are lost souls that have not been able to travel. And I've been constantly speaking about them, constantly filling their eyes, filling their void, or trying to fulfill what they really want. And I don't know whether or not it's was a mandatory mission, or was it already written? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was it written for me to really do this mission and to guide these particular beings to their destiny? Why are these two constantly beings are channeling within me every day? Like, I can tell you who certain celebrities are within these deities and entities that they carry within themselves, and they have not recognized, or they have come into awareness and recognition, and they still want to play a fool, the card of fool within our face, not recognizing the unknown. Like, we're not seeing the shit, what we're capable of. So my question is, if you had the gift to be able to see 30 seconds within the future, what is the outcome that you would change? What is something that you would do will be different to change the outcome of your future? Would you treat everybody in your past differently? Would that make a difference of you being aware that you're in your future moment now, being in the present moment? I don't think so. It would just stir up more emotions that you have not really been able to deal with. So you imagine how you are able to handle these situations instead of going forward within the situation. And by able to do that is by asking spirit instead of outside source of you. Unless you know the outside source of you is associated with you, within you, that you know that you are that conscious or that avatar version of you, you're able to access that. Go ahead. But don't ask anything outside of you that you do not recognize, that you can't just comprehend. Like, learn to stand up what your true belief system is. A lot of times we might get scared of what we believe in, so we need another opinion to see if this is correct. And if you want the right affirmation, the right answers from these particular spheres, you be sending these downloads, send the right coding to them first. Reprogram how you think of the situation and send them the vibration, the answer, so you can hear it and recycle it back to you in real time and real confirmation. We forget to turn on ourselves when we matter the most. During those pity party moments, that's when other sides of us, or other sources, within this realm or outside of this realm wants to communicate with you in those vulnerable moments, stop giving them energy. Give yourself more energy and credit for the things that you have accomplished within your timeline. Think of the moments that made you happy, satisfied, instead of what things made you sad and disbelief and dishonest. Learn to go with the positive aspect of you versus the negative point of view of you. What's been projected onto you. Don't go with that shit. That is other spirits of you that couldn't grasp the reality that you was capable of going with the illusion of their bullshit. It's it's very simple. Change your perspective of your own outcome. Look at things that was protecting you and saving you versus being negative and harming you. But although pain and suffering does come with a great reward, pleasure, you still have to look at the ugly parts of it. You cannot question faith, you cannot question reality, but you can question your thought of reality, of what your perspective is. You cannot question the visions that you are seeing, whether or not you want to question the thing that was influenced the vision that you perceived, that was projected into your third eye, like a projection monitor, like one of those old school things. You just, you have to be grateful for what the devil and what the God of you can accomplish together once they put the great mind together and become one, instead of always constantly fighting between good versus evil, the yin and the yang. It's a great reality there once you come to realization. And realization is really spirituality. That's when growth comes in. That's when you're able to pick apart the future version of you that you want to see a version of you in that timeline and perspective. And if you come back to an old timeline that people still see an old version of you, you still got some healing to do. That's when shadow work 101 comes in. Learn to talk within the ancestors within you who've been through this situation and try to go back to the old matrix, through the old world that they once knew. An old vision that they was able to access so many information. We are capable of accessing so much more. Therefore, we was able to access the devil in us and the God in us. The God in us and the devil within us have two different paths, but on the same destiny, same lineages, getting to somewhere. It's just one is taking a different path and one is taking another path. When I was sitting in the cafe in this particular vision with the devil, when the devil gave me some enlightenment on perspective of us, he told me in selfishness and chaos, it's a good thing. It's not that we created the selfishness and the chaos, it's our environment that created the selfishness and chaos within us. Therefore, we were able to access our Pluto and Loki within us. The Loki version of us is a childlike mind. It has to be stated in a childlike in order to travel within time and dimension. And the arrow within us have to point the direction of our Loki. It has to give us a new meaning, a new perspective of what reality and spirituality is like before death and after death. So when we truly reincarnated into this world again, or into another world, we expand our consciousness. We're able to access all doors and all realms within us. Once we finally learn that who and what we are It's much more than what we think. It's a bigger picture. It's something that we cannot grasp. The devil told me. It's something, this device that he is giving us, this opportunity he is giving us to be able to work with the devils within us and the gods within us. And a lot of people are not understanding the two. Not even I'm understanding the two myself either. Because I do get a lot of things wrong when it comes to my visions. And I do get a lot of things that is right when it comes to my vision if I just wait on God, wait on Spirit. Instead of just sacrificing, giving my all, the God within me is saying, be patient, while the devil in me is saying, take the shortcut, take the doorways. Why would I take the doorways when I take the long route within my path to get to where I need to be within my destiny? You fall short when you take the short way. You don't learn as much information you need to learn when you don't take the long way to your path. You have to take the long way. The long way is the dark forest that you don't even want to go in. That's when I told you Candace is going bye-bye. There is no Candace. Candace doesn't even exist anymore. It doesn't. It's utopia now. But in order to get utopia, go through that forest. Go through that sleeping beauty of yours that's been slept away a long time. That sleeping beauty is your ancestors. That sleeping beauty is what the goddess within you that's been slept away for years. And she don't even recognize that she a god herself until she finally woken up by another god, aka the prince. And then you can consider this the Ishtar, Enki story, the Snow White type story. Because I always vision myself on a stone, lie down just like Snow White, and there's a prince coming to wake me up finally. But really, it's an ancestor version of you waking up, a final version of you that you need to fulfill. Start talking to the devils and the gods within you, because nothing is good and nothing is pure, or nothing is pure and nothing is of darkness. It's your perspective of things, what is dark and what is light. The elites are trying to do the 12 disciples type of reincarnation this whole fucking time, and I fucking knew that from the moment of 2012 when I kept seeing a lot of titans being awakened. A lot of Atlanteans, Sumerians, Lemurians, all of them awakened. And then when 2019 hit, all of a sudden, we entered the land of once upon a time. We all had a Rumpelstiltskin within our timeline. That's the way I can explain it. We all had to follow a riddle to get to a certain matrix that we belonged in, or a certain world that we belonged in. So if you are seeing this, ask yourself this. What would you do if you are able to see 30 seconds within the future? How would you change your outcome? How would you talk to these gods and devils of you? How are you able to pass all of their requests and their tests? Are you able to give the blueprint to the next chosen one who is capable of seeing these things? Or will you lock him away just like you was locked away? Like the dragon within you. Most of you was isolated because they was trying to activate the the Draco, the Dro. I was going to say the other word, but I cannot pronounce it. It's the Draco within you, the dragon, like within you. In order for the dragon, like within you, to activate within you, you had to be in a dark space. No light, no food, no water. You have to learn to survive without all the human things within you that makes you your spirit lights up. And we've been through simulation and simulations, time through time. Most of us was capable of understanding ourselves and coming back to ourselves. Most of us realized history was being repeated, but most of us was able to carry on our destiny and rewrite history. Some of us wasn't. Understand as well the ciphers within you instead of somebody else's perspective. Travel your subconscious into their subconscious by going into the world. Do your own research. Like, that's all I can say. But yeah, it's crazy what I was discovering the past couple of days, or like within. It's so confusing how time works within my mind or in the ether versus here. So there's no particular time of when I got this information or when I discovered it. I don't know. But anyway, if you like today's video, make sure you get that a like button. Make sure you subscribe. I do accept donation. Um, if you are a teacher watching this that is on your spiritual journey and you think that having a spiritual school is a good idea, and you know some people in the education system would love this idea to come to life, just send them this video or tell them to hit me up one-on-one. My information is down below. I'm really thinking about making this happen for my ancestors and y'all ancestors too. So if you know anybody who's willing to have this idea out and down for it, you know, making the school a good idea for the outcast, just give them my information below. My email is myeshiathomas95@gmail.com. My phone number is listed below, and we can have a one-on-one conversation. Also, my Cash App. Make sure you support my Cash App. I'll much appreciate it. It lets me know I'm on the right path. But anyways, I'll see y'all next live, next video. Welcome to the future.